Anybody and everybody that feels what they did was the right, decent thing to do, and if they have second thoughts, that's who it was directed. I would hope they'd have second thoughts. You ask for a person the day before to please leave and don't be an associate of mine any longer, and then sit on the floor and go and hug them. Was it said, thank you for leaving? I'm glad you took my recommendation. I'm sure that he would have been stunned. I've just seen they're destroying a human being's life.
A unique posture for Democratic West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, among some of those Democrats urging Al Franken to reconsider that whole resigning thing. The Daily Caller editor Katie Frates on all of that. He's hardly in the majority of Democrats who are of that view. Franken's still going, I guess, all the more with Roy Moore not coming there. So it seems that that's not going to change, but I could be missing something. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to change either, Neil. I'm kind of shocked. I read this and I was a little baffled by the idea that people are now saying, you know, 8 people have accused Al Franken of some sort of harassment, some of which we have photo evidence, but we want you to stay in the Senate. I don't think that's going to play well with their base at all. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to get out of that. But I also think, you know, Franken himself has said that he's not going to reconsider this, that he said he's resigning and he's done. You
know, there were a lot of who really loved Al Franken, and they thought these are different incidents long before he became a United States Senator. But we live in a day and age where stuff comes to haunt you years later. Of course, I'm in a big old glass house here at Fox talking to you about that. But what do you make of that and how the disposition has changed and how we respond to it, where they toss you on your keister first, ask questions later?
Well, so I've mentioned this before, that I do think that, you know, the Senate does have to be careful in the ethics investigations that it opens about things that people did when they weren't in the Senate, and that absolutely applies to Senator Franken. I also think that his constituents perhaps should have had the right to decide if they want him to stay in the Senate. If they think that his prior conduct had any tangible effect on what he's done for them in the Senate, they should have had that choice. But of course, he decided to resign. So it's a little touch and go. It's a dangerous, it could become a slippery slope. I do think, you know, if anything you've done in your past comes back to haunt you in the Senate for things perhaps that you haven't done while you were in office.
Yeah, and we do know a little bit in the public sphere in Washington, it takes a little bit longer for you to leave than it does in the corporate world, but
right.
That's a whole other issue. On the tax code thing, if you don't mind my you know, switching here a little, everyone seems to think it's going to happen. Tomorrow's the day the House and the Senate will vote on this. Do you expect any speed bumps?
I really hope not. All we've had is speed bumps. Obamacare was one giant speed bump, followed by a lot of little ones after that. I'm really hoping they can just get to smooth sailing. They can have the vote. It seems, you know, Senator Rubio, Corker, they have people who were no's that are on board now. I think it's going to be smooth sailing, Neil. It seems every indication, unless you have someone who decides to have a sticking point at the last minute, I think it's going to go through and it's going to head to the president's desk.
Do you think there could be any Democratic votes? In other words, if it looks like a sure thing and they have the votes to do this, that some Democrats, particularly vulnerable ones, we were mentioning Manchin,
right,
might be inclined to vote yes? What do you think?
I definitely think that's interesting. I'm not sure if someone like Manchin, who is vulnerable and is one of the most moderate Democrats in the Senate, if he's perhaps going to vote yes on this. We'll see if any of the representatives in the House decide to vote yes. I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps a couple jump on the ship, but I'm not sure how fearful they are of their angry base and anything that would associate them with being on board with the president.
I want to get your thoughts also on the Mueller thing and the back and forth where his image has gotten beaten up lately with all these texts and emails and everything else, and then firing a guy who clearly had it out for the president. How is all this going to fall out? Because obviously when Mueller does submit his report, whenever that's going to be, there are going to be questions, probably from both sides, right?
Of course there's going to be questions, and the integrity of the investigation has obviously been compromised. Whether that's just in how people feel or if it's actually been compromised, we'll wait to see. But he needs to keep a tighter ship than he is right now. We have so much information coming out of I'm upset that it seems like whatever his decision on this, whatever the end of this investigation reveals, it's just going to lead to more back and forth, more accusations, and more disbelief from both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Katie, any sense of when that is all going to happen? I mean, we're told that most, if not all, of the interviews have been wrapped up. I don't even know if that's true, but that could mean an imminent end to the investigation itself and a report therein. What do you think?
I don't think perhaps it's too close to being over, because you've got to look at some of the people who have perhaps made deals, you know, lying to the FBI. Why were they given deals? Is there something bigger going on here that he's going to be pursuing further? Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, and I do think the president was wise in saying very clearly that he is not going to fire Mueller, because I think that'd be a very bad idea.
Yeah, and it's not as if the investigation would go away, right? I mean,
no, it would not. It would just give more ammo to Democrats.
Katie Frates, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Thanks.